Today we're going to continue talking about this novel Moon is satellite of spacecraft. It might sound alien, but everything indeed carries vibrational energy. Self-consciousness is energy, people's opinion also energy. Therefore bears some value, and low vibration exists, and vibrational pattern can calculate anything. Fair use. Portion of this novel contains third-party content constitute fair use. Works are meant to be educational, scholar nature, scientific research, which is protected by fair use laws. Novel is just a science fiction, opinion, and speculation. Chapter Zulu Theory. Zulus and other native African tribes say that the moon was built far away to keep an eye on people on Earth, and as a vehicle to travel the universe. As a spacecraft, moon theory might first explain why the moon gives evidence of being older than Earth, and why there are three distinct layers within the moon crust, with the densest material in outside layer. Lunar landing reported 570 plus lights and flashes were observed on the moon from 1540 to 1966. However, the anomalies don't stop there, and multitude of photograph pictures taken by astronomers as well as NASA show several strange mechanical type devices on the surface of the moon. An obelisk-shaped object that lowers 1.5 miles was discovered by Orbiter 3 in 1968. Dr. Bruce Cornett, who studied the amazing photograph, stated, "There is no natural process can explain such a structure." NASA has experienced numerous problems caused by moon dust. It has eroded astronauts' boots also almost completely through and sandpapered their visors. It has traveled inside the ships with the spacesuits and caused moon hay fever in the astronauts who had inhaled it. It's thought that prolonged exposure to the stuff on the moon could even cause airlocks to fail and spacesuits to break down. This devilish substance smells like a gunpowder. Lunar explorations have revealed that much of the moon's surface is covered with a glassy glaze, which indicates that the moon's surface has been scorched by unknown source of intense heat, more likely nuclear blast. The moon is paved with a glass, and expert analysis shows that this didn't result from massive meteor strikes. The presence of glassy surface indicates that moon travel at such a high speed, near speed of light, that the surface friction resulted in the moon's high level of radiation and glass-like surface. The upper 8 miles of moon crust are surprisingly radioactive. The Apollo 15 astronauts used their thermal equipment and they got unusually high readings, which indicated that heat flow near the Apennine Mountains were extremely hot. But this is a puzzle, because moon core is not actually hot at all, but cold, which only fits the theory if moon is hollow and the artificial object. The amount of radioactive material on the surface is not only embarrassingly high, but difficult to account for. Where did all this hot radioactive material came from then? Is it possible that extraterrestrials are living on the moon within the moon? Apollo 11 moon mission incident was censored by government. The incident involved NASA astronaut Neil Armstrong, who reported that he had seen a UFO spacecraft on the landing edge of the crater. There is also an unconfirmed report that when Buzz Aldrin opened the door after landing on the moon, he immediately saw transparent ethereal beings staring at him from outside. Allegedly, the NASA Houston flight director has said that there was a public and secret private radio frequency between the moon lander and mission control, and that conversation took place during a mysterious 2-minute interruption in the public transmissions. A radio message from the moon was broadcasted on a French public television only for 1 minute, before it was censored and ceased. The transmission appeared to be a mysterious, clearly spoken alien language, not spoken anywhere else on Earth. The famous French historian and author published the transmission, which has been suppressed in the United States from public. It came from a US astronaut who transmitted it to NASA. An expert linguist have been unable to translate the language. Astronauts themselves have produced photographs that appear to show very strange anomalies on the moon. Images of artificially made structures on the moon, artifacts from some ancient culture are currently appearing facilities are still active on the moon. Today, many of these structures emit lights, while others leave tracks across the moon's surface. There is a theory that the moon is actually gigantic extraterrestrial craft brought here eons ago by intelligent beings, and this is the only theory that is supported by all the data we have now, and there is no data that contradicts this theory yet. The moon is a hollow sphere that apparently has traveled through the galaxy and resides now in a perfect orbit around the Earth. One popular theory is that race called the Anunnaki came to Earth centuries ago and created human race from their own DNA according to this theory. The Sumerians are descendants of that race. Others believe that moon have been brought to mankind itself. We don't know who brought the moon here for sure, but it's here now and it's a constant reminder of unusual characteristics. The darker side of the moon is always hidden from our eyes. Why? 4 years before Neil Armstrong put first footprint on the moon's surface, former CIA pilot stated that 250 million humanoid aliens live on the moon, and he also stated that beneath the surface of the moon there are urban areas where aliens live. There are laboratories in the underground facilities where genetic experiments are carried out. The moon has turned out to be not only the satellite of Earth but also an important strategic object. Experts are confident that in the coming decades, global missile defense system will be installed on the moon and orbital bombers will be on duty on a lunar orbit. The moon is an artificial celestial body, but who created it and when? And mainly thing is why mankind still have to figure out. On October 9, 2009, the probe sent detailed report to the Flight Mission Center. According to this report, there should be silver and hydrogen, but most important thing, the water. There is a water on the moon. Water particles is present in all the samples of the moon in a frozen state. Specialists managed to calculate that water in craters of the moon contains at least 10%, and this amount is enough for a person to live on the moon completely autonomously drinking this water. To be continued, thank you.